Hello, my name is Sean with Fete Finders. Today we have Mr. SDot Chandler with SDot Productions here in the DMV area. How you doing, bro?
Hey, man, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too, man. Nice to have you here, man.
Definitely.
All right. So the first question I'm going to start off with you is, how did you get on the scene?
DMV, of course, right? Basically, I started off promoting, I guess. A word we promoters don't like to use, but promoting in end of 2012, going into 2013.
Okay.
So I've had a little journey in the area, and I've had a lot of experiences just from that time to now. Getting started was not necessarily hard, but enduring and being on the pace from there to now has been a really, really high experience.
So it's safe to say that you enjoy what you do.
I enjoy what I do. Hobby-wise is definitely, bringing joy and fun to people's hearts through things that they love, like music, and just having folks come together to enjoy themselves together under your umbrella or something that you have envisioned is always a great experience.
So where does your inspiration come from? Who inspired you to be a promoter?
I have quite a few, more so in the area. I never aspired to actually be a promoter, but I loving the culture and loving to do things in the industry that I've seen others do was really my inspiration, and I've seen guys succeed. I think something that also really inspired me is even on the side of promoters who did not necessarily always succeed, and then you would see them try it again maybe the following year or year after, and then they do succeed. I love stories like that because in the promoting industry, you do not always win, you do not always score, and sometimes you do just have to do a layup instead of a windmill dunk. But when you really get to do that windmill dunk, you really feel proud of that promoter or yourself if you're in that position. So that's really my inspiration of over the years of winning, even when you are down and you lose, and you win some, you lose some, but those wins are perfect.
So who inspired you to do this?
I guess my inspiration was looking at certain guys who were in their more mid to senior years of promoting, guys like Slice, Flex, Trini Mike, Lime Juice, Arthur, Jason Cumberbatch, And then as I got more into the industry, I met a lot of other promoters from outside of just DC. And I mean, not to drop more names, but it's just many people out there who are inspiring for me to say, hey, can I do this? Do I enjoy it? Would I enjoy it? Have I enjoyed it? And a lot of times I'm telling these guys thanks, because like I said, the journey is it's hard, but it's the endurance to make it, which where it really comes from.
So basically you're paying homage.
Pretty much. Okay. You have to. Even now where I have guys paying homage to me, and it's warming, in your heart, because you're like, you don't want anyone to fail. But even with that, these guys are pioneers and for what they've done in the DMV area, and I'll never forget that. Okay. I would never forget that. So
what is one of your premier events in the DMV area? One of you that you're most proud of?
I have a few. To pick one, I would say, and everybody who knows me will probably know what I'm going to say, is the DDPMO. The That This Pissed Me Off tour that we successfully did for 5 years in the DMV area. We started in 2014, a phone call to, I actually found someone that knew Hype and gave me the number, and I called Hype himself. And we made the deal right then and there, and I brought him 2014. And from then on, we were We started small, and we really made it big. It was a huge affair for myself and my team, me and D Zealous, for SDot Productions, my supporters, my crew. So the DDPMO is one of the gems. I was able to do certain things at Howard Theater that a lot of folks never got an opportunity to do.
Yeah.
And I was also able to, through DDPMO, work with other promoters in different cities, as far as bringing that same comedy, maybe a different name, to their city. So, I mean, I'm really proud of that, SDot Productions.
Gotcha. So, what's the most challenging part for being a promoter, would you say, in your own words?
Promotions or being a promoter has challenges from jump just off of the word. The word is, the word promoter is normally looked upon in a negative way for many different angles. I'm talking about business, I'm talking about relations or relationship or ships. I'm talking about opportunities that you may have. Just promoter. A lot of promoters will use event organizer, event planner, many different things. However, by just starting at the word itself from the jump, there's a negativity that's attached to it. There's a lot of good in promoting. Sean, there is also a lot of dark places when you come to promoting. And one thing for me is, and I would say to anyone who aspires to become a promoter, you have to understand what comes along with it. Because at no time will you ever have everyone in your corner. At no time would you ever have everyone supporting. And at no time would you ever or get your way with anything that you want to do. And in the industry of itself, how it's built, the promoter normally is the last. You're the chief, you're the head cook, you're the bottle washer, you're the cleaner, you're the gatekeeper. Even if you have your team, you have that, because if anything goes wrong, you are the one. If anything goes right, you are the one that's celebrated. So I would say for me, bad in promoting is just the things that come along with it. But there are things that you can do if you aspire to become a promoter, that you can stay on the bright side as you go along and build in the industry.
Okay. So where does the name SDot come from?
True indeed. It's been something that folks have asked me consistently for years since I've been promoting. When I started under a guy named DJ Super Slice. Slice was kind of the person that I had attached to, myself and some other cats. And he was grooming before he decided to, take a sabbatical from the industry. But one thing Slice had mentioned to me, he's like, hey man, if you're coming into this, you're gonna have to have a name. You can't go out there with everybody calling you what my government name is. And so I was like, well, I don't have anything. I mean, I don't know. We were actually sitting in his car, and he said, well, what do you think? What is it? I said, well, I mean, I could use the first letter in my name, but that's it. That's it. I don't want to use anything else. So he was like, S? And I was like, yeah, just, I mean, I don't know. What do you think? And he said, well, you got to have something with it. It just got to be S. He's like, it's like S and that's it. And I'm like, okay, but we can't use S and that's it. So then we went S period, but we was like, nah, that ain't gonna work. And then it was like, S, full stop, whatever, like S. We was like, and we didn't even get the name that night. And Slice called me like 6:30 in the morning the next day. He called me about 3-4 times. I think I caught by the second time and I didn't answer because I was still sleeping. He called again and then he called again and I answered. And as I pick up the phone, he said, hey, SDot. And I'm like, what? Like, because I just woke up, so I didn't know what he was talking about. I forgot the conversation. So he was like, I'm like, dot what? What are you talking about? And he's like, SDot, that's it. And I'm like, so then I said, oh yeah, the name. I said, well, Slice, I can't be like, if I make a logo, it's going to be S and a full stop, you know? He's like, no, use the DOT.
Okay.
And he was like, SDot. And from there, that day, I made my logo. This was in 2013. And it stopped right there. It was SDot, and that was it.
Okay.
And that's how I got my name. I protect my first name, even though I know mostly everybody knows now. But it was a big thing for me coming up because there were associations with my name that was damaged and stuff like that. Not my name, but folks that had my name. And, you know, I missed out on opportunities. I told you about this in the promoting world. So I really needed to come up with something, and Slice really helped me. So that's the tyranny of the SDot and then SDot Productions, which was birthed about 7 months later.
Okay. So what was your first Fete? What was your first initial event that put you, that you knew you was like, there, I'm a promoter?
Oh, well, I had a few Fetes in the beginning that, my first Fete, I think I had 11 people there. And then I think my first 3 Fetes were completely a bust. Really and truly, I gotta give praise to my partner, D. Zealous, because when she came on, she added something to us, and I can talk about that even more a little later. But the first Fete that I did that I felt like, or folks felt like, or where people kind of turned their heads to me, was a Fete that I had that's called Soca Blitz. White boy knows what I'm talking about. And that was downtown DC, and it was my biggest invested Fete. I had blacks and another soca artist who didn't come, yet used my ticket to perform in New York the next day. However,
sound a little salty about that.
yeah, it was breaking into the industry for me.
Okay.
I think we had about 200 people. It was the biggest party that I've ever thrown. Now,
Gotcha.
a lot of people, some people know, a lot of people don't know, I am a playwright also. So I was at the level of the 1,000 people at the plays. So switching to do the parties at that time and having 11 people, 30, and then like 10 leave early, and then you're down to, you know, that's what I was going through. But my first show that really put me on the map in DC was Soca Blitz.
Okay. All right.
We did Soca Blitz for 3 years consecutively. I rested Soca Blitz in 2016.
Okay. So we know you from the playwright. So how did that get started from promoting? When you initially started with the playwrights, or?
Oh yeah, I've done 7 plays written from front to back, music, everything. And I started doing plays in 2007. I never stopped necessarily doing plays. I just wanted to give this promotional thing a chance to see. Because the real draw for me was the culture.
True.
And that was it. It was really, for me, the culture. And being on George Avenue for Carnival and going to the brew house with Flex and going down to the Lux or to even downstairs in Zanzibar with Trini Mike and the crew and Slice, and you know, those were the days we really had fun. Even merging with some of the hierarchy folk that were older in second generation TNT Clubhouse and stuff like that, and the association. I just really liked it, so I decided, hey, you know, I'm going to give it a shot. But the playwriting is something that is really my niche, and I was really happy to do my first ever Caribbean play in the year 2019 called Carnival Baby. And you know, and to do that was a real milestone for me. And then the fact that we sold out our theater was also another achievement, because I really didn't know how the Caribbean community was going to accept a Caribbean play. And more so, what was really even harder, to acquire the cast of 18 actors and actresses, and then another 11 dancers and stuff like that. So having a whole full set of staff and characters and everything, close to 30, was very challenging in the Caribbean community to get that. You know, I've got a lot of no's. When I did plays before, I would just put it out. There's a play, we have an audition, and I got 50 people out there waiting. The Caribbean play, it was like pulling teeth. Twice I almost had to act in the play, and I've done quite a lot of acting in my life, but I'm really set on directing and, you know, getting people in place to, you know, do what they need to do on stage.
Okay.
And so I really don't want to act. But I took a chance, and I think I really meshed with the right people to take that chance to give the promoter thing. If I didn't get anywhere in 2 years, I was going to stop, but I did.
Okay. So we're going to take it back, because tell everybody where you're from.
Well, Trinidad and Tobago, I'm sorry, Trinidad and Tobago. Twin Islands, one in the sun. Okay,
so when did you move here in the States? Were you born here, or?
No, I was born in Trinidad, St. James. I was one of those. I came from the age 5 or 6. I come here every summer. New York, Brooklyn. But I officially migrated in 1997 to New York, and then I moved down to Maryland, and I've been here ever since.
So when did you move down to Maryland?
Same year, 1997.
1997.
I got in trouble in New York.
Oh, you've been here for a minute.
Yes, been in here for a while.
Okay, so what are some of the things that we can expect for you in the near future? I know COVID has, because we'll get to that too, like how has COVID affected your business, the industry, and what's your views on COVID?
You want to go there now?
Yeah, we're going to go there.
Okay. Well, I mean, what can I say? Anybody that sits in this chair and gets that question, I think we'd be along the same lines. This is crazy. You know, I've often thought about movies that I've watched over the years that we go through stuff like this, and now we go through stuff like this. To be frank with you, Sean, in the beginning of the interview, I shook your hand. I haven't shook a hand in a minute. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed it too. You know what I'm saying? But,
we got real people.
Like, I will sanitize after. I'm gonna tell you that.
We got hand sanitizers by the door and stuff like that too.
I will. But you know, this is I had a promoter, senior promoter, that I turned to a lot for advice and stuff like that. I don't even mind. I'll call his name Arthur Griffith. And you know, Arthur and I were talking because we decided not to do anything through the corona virus season, and for as long as it's here, and that's our choice. And he said, you know, SDot, as bad as this is, there's some good in it. He says, in the promotional world, there are going to be guys that fall off. But if you are steadfast on staying on bringing entertainment to folk, this could possibly be the best time for you to regroup and get your business in order, get your LLC'd up, make sure that you get your insurance, and if you're looking to invest into certain things, pack your money so that when this is over, you have a platform that you can come out on, and you can basically, like Arthur said, you can ride your own horse. Okay. On the flip side, there are promoters that are doing events. And personally, because I've heard negative and positive, but for me personally, I don't begrudge anybody. sometimes in this industry, and this is not a slap to anyone, but this is what some guys got. This is it. They got to promote. Secondly, this thing, if a promoter, whether he has a 9 to 5 or not, decides to do a party or whatever the case may be, I really think that's his prerogative, or his or her prerogative. I've decided not to because of my views, but I don't begrudge anybody who does. Because when you look at it, the people is still in them.
Gotcha.
If that promoter who's doing a party week after week or every other week don't do it, there will be another promoter that's going to do it.
Yes, absolutely.
And if you're mad at that promoter, you will always be mad at somebody. For what?
Yeah.
People are willing to go out and party. And it will happen from now until they say Corona is gone. But everybody
really see
does
it being gone?
I don't know. I can't say. Getting a vaccine, I don't know. But what I can say is that the world that we live in, just the industry that we are in will never be the same.
Okay. So what advice can you give to promoters out there, or things that you do to stay relevant in these times? Because these are hard times.
Yeah.
So how do you stay relevant, and what advice would you give to other promoters or people that want to be promoters right now at this time?
Yeah, well, I personally have my base. I have my SDot Productions, and we have about a little over 1,300 followers on our page, which is not a lot. However, combined with our IG and stuff like that, we are very innovative with our folks. There are a lot of other programs and a lot of other entities out there like Rich Logic, Songbang. You got guys like Giovanni, Red Asylum. These guys that are continuously hitting the iron and staying relevant in the game. There are levels to it. I have decided how I pace myself. I've done a couple of Zoom parties. I'm doing a couple other things coming up, and it's about staying relevant and keeping your name out there, but it's really and truly connected with the people that support you and follow you, especially the people that has been with you over the years. So myself and Dee have decided to always, to support in anything that we do. Like this interview today, I decided I'm going to wear my
I appreciate it. I noticed
Finder,
it.
you know what I'm saying?
Looking like twins right now.
Yeah, yeah, we're looking like twins for real.
Okay, all right.
I hope you understand what I said.
Yeah, I got that. Like, you have to Okay, all right. So
I keep wanting to drink. Go ahead.
Drink, bro.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
It's there for you.
Yes, go ahead.
All right. So, what can we expect in the next couple of months from you? Can you say, or is everything hush hush and secretive?
I wouldn't say hush hush. I would say one hush. We are coming up with a few things that we are looking forward to doing, but we're still watching what's going on. And with everything right now, we're just paying attention to what's going on.
Okay.
It's an election year. A lot of things are getting ready to happen. Some good, some bad. So the pace is where you really want to be right now. Just watching, listening before you really make any move.
Okay. All right.
But one hush.
One hush.
Yeah.
One hush. All right. So, is there any last things that you want to give to the audience? Tell them about yourself or what you got going on, and we just going to close out here.
No, not necessarily. I think this was great. I like the idea. I look forward to seeing other interviews from other promoters, DJs, artists, radio personalities, interesting people in the area and stuff like that. Owners, and doctors, lawyers, everything. I think this program is a platform for everybody. I am excited to be the first. Kicking this thing off, and I hope you guys did enjoy, and I just look forward to more. I would say though that I do have a surprise, and I mean she's really my surprise. She's here for my first interview on the Fete
Finder feature.
Fete Finder feature. So don't get mad at me, but I'm gonna feature my daughter Savannah. All right? All right, she's coming in on one. Yeah, Sean. So this right here is what it's all about. This is Savvy. Savvy, want to say hello?
Hi, my name is Savannah, and I'm 5 years old.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
And are you a star?
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Alright.
This is my world, man. So a lot of things that we are doing and I'm doing, it's all about this right here. And you think I like the mic and I like stage? Wait for Savannah within the next 10 to 12 years.
It could be sooner than that, man.
It could be the way she is, but thank you for having us.
Yeah. So, lastly, because it's not first, it's lastly, I want to say thank you because you have been with me during this journey. We go back to the beginning when I wanted to be a promoter. Right. And then I called you and I was like, I want to do something more than promote. I want to give back to the community. I want to highlight everybody, individuals that's in the scene, and shine that light because we make up the community. You know, the fetters, the artists, everybody, we're one and the same because we can't have one without the other. So I do want to say thank you. And thank you guys for tuning in and watching the feature. We look forward to bringing you more artists, more DJs, promoters, and shining a light on who we are as a community. Thank you again and good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.